Hello, everybody. It says I'm live. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I did it. I finally did it. I'm so excited. So excited to see you guys. Yay. I'm so excited. I mean, I'm stoked to the max. So stoked. I'm going to read you. No, I just wanted to apologize to. Yeah, finally, I did it for the first time in how long? And I can actually see you on here. Wow. I got my computer looked at by a computer guru I know. His name is Runer Gustafson. I bowl with him, so he did me a solid and hooked a brother up. Nice. Okay, so yeah, I'll be talking with Arron of Australian School of Esoterica. He's a long friend, been a friend of mine for a long time, and I can't wait to speak with him. So I just had something on my screen there, so I apologize. So who's all with me? It is, let me go back to this screen. Scratch, what up, brother? How you been? Scratchy. Scratch. I've been all right. Everything sounds cool, huh? Wow, I'm so stoked that I finally figured this out. I mean, it's been a while since I've been able to sync my YouTube channel with an actual live stream. I've been all right. Still breathing and farting, can't complain, I suppose. You know. Hey, what's up, Heidi? My sweetheart, Delaney Pearl Jones. What's up? What's up? Yeah, and well, today the odd thing is I was bowling and the bowling scores were 232, 223, 232. And I thought of Arron because he's always about 23, 23. And sure enough, he sends me a link he wanted to share with me that he said I would get into. And it was about archetypes. Well, ever since I've known Arron, I knew that's, it's just the weirdest thing how reality works sometimes. It's like when you know somebody's going to call and they call you, or you haven't heard from somebody in a while and all of a sudden you hear from them. It was like that situation today with me and him. And that plays right into the archetype of, of mentalism or, of thought vibration, polarity, all of it, and I say that in a generic way, but I mean it in the utmost way, where when we put a thought out there, and I think the closer you are to thinking on somebody's level, maybe, I don't know where that all lines up, but it does happen more often to me now than it has in the past. I'll only say that. I'm not saying I'm ahead of the curve. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else at receiving anything. I'm just saying that as the mountain of truth grows ever wider and expands before you as you reach the precipice of said knowing things, it's like the accumulation of everything just builds on itself. And I don't even know how to articulate what I'm trying to relay here. But needless to say, long story short, it inspired me to do this video with him. And, I did it on a spur of the moment, as I always do. But I got something accomplished, obviously, because it was synced up with my YouTube channel. So what's up, guys? Genevieve, what's up? You're going to behave? Okay, Scratch. You don't have to behave if you don't want to. My Skies 5D. What's up, Mike? Need to know the frequency that is happening is crazy lately. Yes. Frequency of that happening is crazy lately. Yes. And, that has to do with The division as well. The division there is to teach us that everything is unity. The unifier is the division, right? Isn't that the case? Isn't it? As Sadhguru would say, isn't it? I love how he does that all the time. You don't have to, right. Heidi, I love you, sweetheart. I love you, Genevieve. You guys are awesome. Yeah, and the divisiveness in our world is set before us for us to make a choice on whether or not to ride that storm of chaos or to be at peace within ourselves, within the eye of the storm. We are the eye of the storm, meaning that the center of whatever chaos is out there, you are at the middle of it. Your true self is at the middle of it, the blissful self, the one that can be calm in the eye of the storm. And I've made strides lately in my want to calm my mind. And I'm trying to put that to practice more and more lately. So maybe that has something to do with it. What's up, Desert Rose? Why aren't you part of the Blue Crew? Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you, sweetheart. It's been a minute. Yeah, but I've been reading the Bhagavad Gita and I feel like shameful because I haven't been able to pronounce the words right. And, not many Westerners can, and I'm one of those. And I apologize immensely for that. But, it's just amazing how reality can come full circle and touch you on every corner of your being without you even really knowing it's going on, per se. But, there is truth to ask and you shall receive. You ask God for help and God is in all. God is omnipresent. God is, everything. So that would explain why remote viewing works. That would explain why prophecy works, like Nostradamus. Several things lately have happened to me where I ask for help for things. And unbeknownst to me, as I was getting the help, I didn't really know what it was until after I come to terms with what I wanted help for. When you look back in retrospect, it's like Nostradamus quatrains, where he would look into a bowl of water and tell of fantastic things of, stuff that they didn't know anything. Right. Oh, we got him in he's changed his name again. That's right. I forgot about that. Arron, my brother, from another mother. What's up, brother? You got to unmute yourself. It might be your headphones. You got to unmute yourself, bud. You're muted.
Hey, my friend, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you, brother?
Yeah, good, mate. What's happening?
It looks like it's nice and warm there.
Oh, it's hot today. That's for sure.
Wow.
It is super hot. Probably about 100 Fahrenheit today. So nice cool breeze, but it's nice.
Well, how have you been, cool breeze is here. It's 16 degrees Fahrenheit here.
Yeah. How's the winter going over there?
Yeah, it's pretty cold. Well, it's it's a roller coaster ride. They're getting a blizzard on the East Coast right now, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah. A couple feet of snow or whatever. But dude, it's just so wild. It's just so wild how today worked. I mean, and I'm talking to you tonight. I mean, it's just crazy.
It certainly is crazy. It's the way the universe works, though.
Yes.
It's beautiful. It's been a long time since we chatted, man. There's been a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot. So you've been removed from it still in your mind?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm back in Adelaide now. I've left the jungle because we've got the twins on the way. So living in the modern gulag here in Australia, the state that we were living in had fairly hardcore coronavirus restrictions, so we didn't want to have to deal with that going through the birth in the hospital. So we've moved back to the home state for a little while, back to the heat and out of the jungle and the rain. So it's good to be back.
Yeah, it might be better for having a newborn out of the jungle.
Yeah, although I do miss my jungle, and I miss spending time with the land and healing the land. And yeah, it's a bit different here. It's dry and it's a desert here, so it's a bit harder to communicate with the land here. Up in Queensland though, it was nice and easy, so I learned a lot. So I learned a lot about growing food and talking to trees and healing the trauma of the land. That's what my main focus has been over the last 2 years, I reckon. So yeah, but it's good to be back to the desert.
Yeah, and you're trucking along in 100-degree temperatures right now, so I don't know how you're doing that. But
I've taken a turn. I'm concentrating on making sure I get that balance between mind, body, and spirit. So I've been really, really healthy lately, especially the last year. Training at the gym every day and running every day, walking every day, eating healthy. I'm on a meat eater diet at the moment, so yeah, things have changed, my man.
So you quit smoking, huh?
Changed. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Quit smoking. Like no sugars, no soft drinks, nothing like that. So I figured cleansing the body properly is the next step in my evolution. You know, sort of making sure that all of my energetic body is balanced, because I had a bit of a sweet tooth before and I was probably a bit lazy. So it's good to have the turnaround, and the fruits are bearing themselves. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I've had similar things happen to me, but I'm not quite a sugar-free or soft drink. I ain't free of that, or coffee. I still do coffee, and I smoke an occasional cigar. So I can't say
nothing wrong with smoking a cigar. Beautiful.
Huh?
Nothing wrong with smoking a cigar. It's beautiful.
Oh, well, it's kind of becoming a habit again, though. You know, that's how humans are, and that's what we do. The creatures of wrath, right? Yeah.
Aren't we?
So, dude, explain to me how a guy like me can, you know, or you, like today. I mean, was there anything off? You just thought of me when you seen the archetype thing? I mean, what was?
Yeah. Yep. I just thought of you. You just came to my brain. I follow a few people who are pretty deep into the occult, especially illumination through archetypes and stuff. So I came across a person on Twitter who was really, really good, probably the best I've seen ever in my life. So I thought I would share it with those who would appreciate it, and you were one of them.
I haven't looked at it yet, to be honest with you, because I mean, I was just blown away about how our personal journeys just meshed today. And it was through your number 23, where, I mean, I was bowling and I seen 232, 223, 232, and instantly you popped in my head, and and it wasn't until a couple hours after that where I was pulling up in front of my house and I thought of you, and I thought of archetypes right off the bat, and I'm like, it would be a good time to have a talk with him about how my understanding has grown of archetypes. And I mean, it was like the whole day was built upon the very concept of an archetype, of a mental archetype, you know, and I was just blown away, dude.
Oh man, well, and you know that if you ask me, every day is built on the concept of archetypes. So
right. Yeah, if you're paying attention to it, yes. And do you think that has a lot to do with just your understandings? And I mean, do you think it's just the desire to want to do that, or you have to know things about it, right?
Yeah, I think when people are going through this journey, you know, where they're trying to find out, you know, what the world's really about, I think everyone takes a different path. And I think that the tarot and archetypes is probably the way that I resonated with the best. And I mean, it's different for everyone, of course, but yeah, I think that's the case. I mean, of course, it's beneficial for everyone, but everyone has their own way of doing things, and that's cool.
Yeah. So, you know, this sounds cliche, or maybe just plain out there to most people, but to me, every piece of information I've come across lately, or forever, and you dig deeper, the deeper you dig into it, the more you get back to yourself and to how everything is interconnected.
Yep. And then on the flip side, the less you know.
Yeah, very true, because it grows. I was just trying to articulate that, when I started the stream, just to have something to talk about or whatever, and I couldn't do it. But that describes what you just said, describes it perfectly right there. The mountain just gets it just grows as you get there. It's crazy.
For sure. For sure. Yep.
And recently for me, it's like the division in our world, and the rights and the lefts and the ups and the downs and the hots and the colds. I mean, you're in the freaking hottest place in the world right now.
Yeah,
I'm in the coldest.
And probably up there with the top 2 or 3 authoritarian countries in the world at the moment. So
yeah,
it is the land of extremes. So it is what it is. You just got to roll with the punches.
So how does somebody concentrate on archetypes and their inner journey in a totalitarian surroundings like you're in? I mean, how are you doing it?
It's just not a part of my reality, mate. It's not a part of my reality. I said that from the start. I'm not going to be affected. It's not part of my reality. I'm creating my own reality that doesn't include things like division, authoritarianism, abuse, all of those things. And so far I've come out pretty good. And and I have tempted fate a few times in the last few weeks. My neighbor, their family all had COVID, and I asked them to have a drink out of a drink bottle to me and hand it to me at the porch with a kiss, and I sculled it to try and grab some natural immunity, and it didn't work. So obviously the programming's working good. I'm programming myself the right way, and we've been pretty unscathed. We've been trying to catch it, to try and get Rita infected while she's pregnant, to build up the natural immunity, knowing that it's going to be around for a long time, but it hasn't happened. So
I've been surrounded by it myself, and I haven't caught it either. Are you by chance O positive? Is your blood type O positive?
I'm AB.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I mean, I think it's all got to do with mindset. Those that are afraid, you manifest your fears easier than you do your desires. So, I mean,
I do some homeopathic stuff, the ivermectin thing, and that's what I do. I take it prophylactically, and whatever. But that's just my thing. I have no qualms for anybody that's vaccinated. My wife's vaccinated. I don't really. That's everybody's decision, and I think that's how it should be.
Yep, for sure.
And all of this whole thing is just it's quite funny how it's turning right back on its head again, and it's it's all coming out in the wash, and it's good because why? Because truth always comes out, right?
Truth always wins, and when you're telling lies, they just compound on each other until the truth comes out. So this is what we're seeing. We're seeing the apex of the compounding of lies that are gonna starting to slowly express themselves as truth. So I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see
enough
it.
Of that, talking about that stuff, but
that's not part of my reality.
Yeah, and I mean mine neither, unless somebody around me gets it, or I have to test because whatever. My wife's a nurse and whatever. But anyway, that's enough of that. But the whole thing with the archetype thing. Now I remember when my shallow understanding, I thought archetype, archon, In your mind, is there a difference between an archon and an archetype?
Well, an archon is definitely an archetype.
Yeah.
And depending on how you see the world, I mean, if you're pessimistic, I suppose you could say that archons and the archetype of archons are the overlay, I guess, of the material archetypes, I guess. And you could say the same about the demiurge as well. I mean, the demiurge definitely has a lot to do with archetypes. So
because that's exactly what it is. And I've searched for words to describe it, and you just did it perfectly. And I agree with that. And because it's all about perspective, right? I mean,
for sure. Absolutely.
Perspective is everything. And why is that? Why is that?
Why is perspective
everything, Arron? Come on, give me the answer.
Well, perspective is everything because that's how you direct your spirit to go where you want it to go.
Yes.
That perspective is just an emanation of the direction of the spirit and where you choose to direct the spirit. I mean, a lot of people have a different perception to the world than I do. That's for sure.
Yes. And you know, I think that's where most of us are lacking, even me until recently, was, you know, the pointing fingers, and it's like projecting your discontent out, and you're just feeding the
And fear.
monster. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You feed the monster with your discontent, and it just doubles back on you no matter what.
It
And
does.
isn't that an archetype in itself, like karma? Right?
Yeah.
Or
karma's definitely, or dharma, depending
dharma.
on
There
how
you go.
how
There you
deep it
go.
is.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. They're all archetypes. Karma and dharma are definitely archetypes.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I mean,
Yes.
archetypes are in everything though. It depends on how you choose to perceive it. I mean, you know, there's a tree right here, a beautiful Australian gum tree. You know, that's archetypally Australian. It's archetypally full of pain and full of, you know, you've got a daisy which is full of life and full of water, and, you know, full of love and full of beauty. And then you have the gum tree with its shaken bark, and you know, it's all dried out, the bark's falling off, it's constantly in trauma because of the heat. You know, they're just two different sides. They're two different sides of the spectrum, aren't they? One's a flower, one's a tree. One's about life and love, and the other one's about harshness and death, you know?
Yeah. And now, does that, just depending on your perspective, it doesn't, either one are the same if you're in a calm seat in your head, right? I mean, you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it all depends on your perspective as well. So, you know, it's easy to call the old gum tree a dried out, constantly traumatized plant, but you could compare it to some other plant and it'd be the life bearer, you know? So it's all about perception. All of it.
And archetypes are fractals in a sense too, right?
Yep, absolutely. They're fractals within the fractal. They're the split or the emanation of the life force, or the centrifugal force of life, you know. And it's just the way it is. It's not very complex.
The tree is the ultimate archetype, and we are just leaves upon the human tree, or the huge tree of life. And right.
Yep.
I mean,
absolutely. And you know, if you choose to look at it a different way, we are the tree. We're not just the leaf, but we are the roots that are grounded in the earth. And every single time we grow and we have an experience, you know, we grow another ring and we move forward, we move upwards and forwards towards the light. You know, it's the same thing.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the thumbnail I had for this live stream yet, but it's that schematic of Phil's God of the seven kingdoms, or the seven houses of the Lord, you know, with the mentalism correspondence to the Hermetic principles, pretty much.
Yep.
And then he overlays it with all kinds of different, modalities of our reality, or, you know, like planets, minerals, rhythm, you know, all that. So
vibration, you know, that they're all interchangeable. I think that's where a lot of people get confused about archetypes, is they think it's such a complex thing. But if you just stop and be silent for 5 minutes and, you know, compare apples with oranges, then you start to realize how simple it is, and how simple nature is.
I now understand it. Remember when we used to talk about the numbers and what they mean, and how you could articulate them in a sentence to how our reality is and functions? I now see it as we are the one in the three, using the process of five to skate through the template of seven.
Yep.
Remember?
Yep. And
remember when we used to talk like that?
Yep. And you know, that's still true for me. You know, seven is the ultimate. It's the kingdom. Yep. 5 is the ether.
Yeah.
And I think that's why 23, 5, 14, 32, they're so pivotal in a spiritual journey, because, you know, they all boil down to 5, and 5 is the ether, and ether is spirit. So, I mean, pretty simple for me.
It's the medium in which spirit and matter coalesce, I think.
Yeah, correct. Well, and even that, it's sort of like the intermediary between the kingdom, which is everything, and the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, the 3. You got the 3, the 5, and the 7. you know?
Yep. That's why I love
It's
talking to you, man, because, and I think that's why today when that numbers popped up, it was like, you know, when it comes
yeah,
down to it, we're one anyway in the end. So I was just trying to articulate that. That's why remote viewing works. That's why psychics work, you know,
yep,
mediums
yep.
work, all that stuff.
Astral projection, all those things.
Yeah.
They're just able to move in and out of the 5 easier than what other people are that are rooted in the material reality of 3. It's quite
Right,
simple.
right.
And then for the lucky ones of us, you know, we transcend the 3, and then we finally transcend the 5, and we get to the 7, which is
right.
illumination.
I was just reading in Bhagavad Gita too, how no matter what your desires, even if they're lacking in goodness, you will achieve those if you put enough effort into it, and it's by the grace of God or Brahman or Brahma, and
Yep.
you know, and it's provided to you by yourself because it's what you want, and
Yep.
you know, so it comes down to that battle within us. What do you want for yourself? So
Yeah.
and that's what dilutes us to where we can't find the path, because we get whatever we want. We're like spoiled brats in the end. You know, we reap what we sow.
and that's it. And the more we concentrate and place our consciousness on what we want, the more spoiled we become.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 38 years old and I'm retired. I wanted it.
That's pretty good.
It happened, you know. I don't have a job. I don't have any form of income. But when I need money, I say, all right, universe, it's time. I need some coin. And the universe provides on a platter every single time. So it's just...
You got an entrepreneurial wife though, don't you?
Yeah, but she hasn't worked. She hasn't worked since we moved up north. When we moved up north, she stopped working. So she's not doing anything at the moment. She's just relaxing. Wow. And yeah, that's she's awesome, going through her own journey at the moment. She's been spending a bit of time connecting with herself and removing traumas from her childhood and past negative relationships that she's had. You know, it's all a part of the journey. So she's had a lot of time off for that. So I've taken the reins and allowed her to do her thing. So she's not entrepreneurial anymore. She's not bringing in any money or anything. I'm just allowing her to do her thing, just as she allowed me to do my thing when we first met, and I was deep into my mysticism. So yeah, but yeah, it works out.
Somebody just asked in chat, would Brahma or Rama be an archon? And I think they mean Brahma. Yeah, that's what they're asking. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on your perception, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, it can be, but I would personally, from my perception, I'd say that Brahma transcends that. I think that.
Bingo.
I know Archon is a ruler.
Existed forever. It is it. Yeah.
Yeah, and Archon is a ruler, but when I tap into that energy, it's not like a supreme ruler. It's more like an overlord rather than a ruler. It's more like an overlay of, you know, of rule, much like a prime minister or a president. You know, they're the face of the rule, but they're not really the ones who rule the roost. So, and the Brahma is the one that really rules the roost. So, but you know, it depends on your perception. I mean, it depends on how you choose to see it, really.
Yeah, and that's the whole point, and that, you know, and there is a little bit of irony in what I just said there, because the point is the perspective. We are point source perspective in the end.
Yeah, yep, we certainly are, and we are all archons in our own right. You know.
Yeah.
We are all the rulers of our destiny. So you could say that we're all archons. In fact, you could say that if you really boil it down, that we are the true archons, because if we all take control of our destiny, we become in control of reality, you know, and control of reality is rule. So,
yes,
I mean, but hey, it all depends on how you choose to see it, my friend.
It is. And that's the wonderful thing when reality starts kicking back at you, when you're trying and you ask for help and it comes your way, and you don't know it. Have you had anything happen to you like that, where you know, you really asked for help. I mean, it wasn't for money gain or anything. It was for betterment of yourself. And things happened that you didn't recognize that they were there for that reason. But later you realized looking back that that happened
Yep.
because you asked for that help and you didn't know it at the time, but thank you. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And now I've got to a point now where I rely on nothing but my ability to manifest. So I'm sort of on the hamster wheel, you know. There was a time when I asked for things and they came to me. I was like, wow. But now that I've chosen to retire and spend time with my family more and spend time with nature more, I'm constantly having to manifest to be able to amalgamate myself in reality. Like, you know, go out and take my boy to the water slides and stuff that costs money. You know, buying food, putting food on the table, it costs money. So I think, yeah, there was definitely a point in time where I wasn't really aware of what I was manifesting. And there was a point where I went, wow, you know, the universe really came through for me and helped me at that point. But now I'm at the mindset of like the universe is always there, always and forever. So no matter, I just keep choosing my reality every day. And, you know, and the proof is in the pudding.
Right. And, you know, the more we stay at peace from in the eye of the storm, and I can't emphasize that enough, is the faster we'll get out of the storm, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think if more people do that, the quicker it would happen. And I think it's starting to happen.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. And I think the shift is also happening. I see a lot with people that are creating their reality is their thankfulness. Now, I'm a very thankful person, very grateful for what I have. But there was a time when I was manifesting, I would make sure that I was always saying thank you to the universe for fear of losing what I was manifesting. But now I just understand it is what it is. There's no need to thank. You know, you're thanking the creator and the universe just by using the gifts that you were given. There's no need to thank. It is, I've created everything. You know, there's no luck. There's no luck involved. You know, it's me working with the prime creator to create reality. There's no need for thanks. You know, there's just a companionship. Companionships don't need thanks.
Yeah, and that has to go with
it's a rhetoric that's.
Yeah, that has to go with the whole vibrational frequency and everything, how you attract things just by that itself, right? Yep,
absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that thankfulness is a great stepping stone to realization. But eventually you have to let go of that thankfulness because it's all tied to your self-worth. You know, if you're thankful, there's a belief there in that thankfulness that thinks that if I'm not thankful, this is all taken away. And if I am thankful, I'm deserving of this.
Yes.
And eventually you transcend that and you learn that thankfulness is actually, depending on how you look at it, kind of a hindrance to your development, for sure.
Yeah, because you're saying thank you because you're thinking there's a goal at the end of it, or an aspect that you're going to get payback for.
Yeah, and
rather than lose it if you don't say thanks. So I understand what you're saying.
And rather than being, I am. You know, rather than being an entity of thankfulness, I just am thankfulness. You know, people see it in the way that I talk to them that I'm thankful. I don't need to say thank you.
Well, you just by living in through your heart and doing for others without expecting anything and just being right with the universe, it comes back. And I think that, dude, right there was it right there. I think that's why we needed to connect, was for me to actually say that to you and say that I appreciate you for that, dude, because I'm not kidding. Today was a weird one, man. And you popped into my head and here I am talking to you, you know.
You don't know how many people say that to me. That a weird bunch of occurrences happened and then I popped up.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's always kind of been that way. It's been that way with me and you ever since we met, though, I think.
Yeah, of course. It's always, you know,
but it's just getting a little deeper now.
We don't talk all the time.
It's getting a little deeper now. Like, I mean, I'm getting the goosebumps right now just thinking about it. It's just crazy, but it's not crazy because it's real.
Yeah, it is. And I suppose we recognize each other's journey, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess that's what makes, we don't need to talk to each other all the time. We just pop up in each other's consciousness now and then. And then, aha, there it is. I'll see you in another 3 months.
Yeah, I see you paralleling me. And I mean, you're not doing the same exact things, but you're pretty much on the same, wavelength, and you're like,
yep.
You just know there's going to be more. And so do I. And
Yeah,
it's like, wow.
and
It
there's
just
always
makes me
more, and
say,
I'm
wow.
never satisfied. Never ever
Yeah, no.
satisfied.
I don't think any true
Never
truth
satisfied.
seeker is ever satisfied, because they do understand that it just,
Nah.
the more you know, the less you do,
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely
just,
believe that.
you go full circle.
Yep. And there's, every single time you go full circle, you end up learning less.
Yeah.
Or knowing less. Learning more, but knowing less.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Because it always reduces itself to the one, bro. And it's just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And there
Hey,
was
dude,
time. What's
you
up?
keep it real, man. We got to talk again here sometime soon. I appreciate you having a talk with me right now.
For sure, my man. We will catch up for sure.
Yeah.
After the babies come and the hecticness finishes, and
yeah, I'm so
little
jealous
divine
of you, man. I'm envious of you right now. So much.
It was a
I'm
weird,
so happy
wacky
for you, though.
experience after saving my seed and having some sort of weird immaculate conception, and having a boy and a girl, having that unity, between the masculine and the feminine.
What are you talking about?
So I've been saving my seed for over a year now. Just to try and keep my life force energy, in the right place.
Yeah.
So me and the wife,
what initiates
still
do?
They
intimate. Abstain, right? That's
what
you're talking
correct,
about?
correct. Yeah. And moving with the moon cycles and the solar cycles, and just tinkering with my energetic body. And so we've still been intimate with each other, but been very careful to make sure that I raise that energy up and let it subside and level out and equalize. And what do you know? Next thing, the wife is pregnant with twins. Beautiful, beautiful gift. And then, and they're a boy and the girl, and we had a chat about it, thinking, wow, this is amazing. It's immaculate, the way that it's happened. And we've been in for scans and everything, and they've been exactly the same weight. They're in equal positions, either side of the belly, ready to come out. They've been identical weight, identical size the entire time. It's been a trip. It's been an absolute trip. And now we're 3 weeks out. We're 3 weeks out, and it's showtime.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see pictures, brother.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you, man.
It's intense. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Really
I'm happy too. Love it. Love fatherhood.
I can tell, dude. You've changed so much over the last 2 years, even, because since you've had your kid.
Yeah, I softened up a lot.
Yeah.
And my mindset softened up a lot as well. I'm definitely not as firm in my beliefs anymore. I'm
exactly.
more pliable.
I think you've inspired me in that manner, where I had to open my mind up to certain things, because I was getting a little tunnel vision, and thinking that I knew everything, and and my what I knew was what was truth, and I didn't know shit.
And I don't think anyone does, man. I've been spending a lot of time with a person who I think is illuminated, a close friend of mine who has gone through a lot, and they still haven't got it right. They still don't get it right. They still get caught in the same traps as we get caught in. They come to me with epiphanies and saying, oh my God, man, you would not believe the epiphany I came through. And then 2 weeks later, he'll say to me, that was wrong.
That
was wrong. That was wrong. I was getting caught in my material mind again. That's the best bit about being human, man. Being wrong, admitting you're wrong, and finding out a new way to be wrong again.
Right. Or having the courage to find out you're wrong and admit it, or to realize it. And I'm not talking to admit it to anybody else, to yourself, because that's
to yourself is the most important thing. And striving to be wrong all the time is important.
Right.
Like waking up in the morning and saying, how am I going to be wrong today?
Right.
It's a beautiful way to look at the world.
It is.
Keeps you humble.
It's quite humbling. Yes.
And that's a problem that I always had ever since I was a young boy, is being humble. I've always been pretty outspoken since I was young, and since I've learned that I'm wrong every day, all the time, I guess it's allowed me to evolve into somewhat of a man. I'm finally becoming a man, finally becoming.
Well, you are the
masculine
man, brother. You are the man.
Yeah,
and I'm jelly, and I'm
man.
envious, but I'm also happier than snot for you and your success with your family.
But
dude.
I've still got a long way to go to be a man. There's a whole lot of responsibility that that being a man and a father that you've got to take on.
Oh yeah.
You know, to be a man, you've got to take on everything. You can't shy away from a single thing, you know.
Right.
So I've got a long way to go. There's a lot of things that I try and avoid in my life, a lot of responsibilities that I wake up and I go, I don't want to do that today. And being a man is standing up and saying, well, if you're not going to do it, who is?
Yeah.
You know,
Hallelujah.
and I've still got a long way to go, my friend. A long way to go.
You're doing great works, man, and I appreciate you, brother.
And so are you. I'd love to catch some more of your lives, now that I'm not in the jungle and I have phone service.
I haven't really doing many, actually.
Yeah, I noticed you've been a bit lean.
Yeah,
I've noticed.
I've been searching my soul a little more, or myself, you know, for myself, and trying to do some corrections, and I've succeeded in a couple major ones lately, but for the most part, man, it's coming to the realization that you really can't share nothing until you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you do share, have the caveat that you don't know.
Yeah, right.
And that's another important thing.
Right, exactly.
You know,
I'm just
nothing.
And I have said that from the beginning, that I'm just sharing my journey, and I'm glad you guys are all along for the ride, because you know it can get awful bumpy.
Yeah, and it stays bumpy. It's always bumpy.
Yeah.
It's always bumpy. You got to ride the waves, my friend.
Right.
Always. You know.
Well, hey man, cowabunga, dude. I'm always riding the waves and looking out on the beach for you, bro.
Peace, my brother. We'll catch up once the babes come and I learn a bit more about myself.
Send me some pictures, man.
Will do, my friend. I will. I'll show you some pictures,
brother.
and we'll catch up soon, friend.
All right, you too, brother. I love you, man. Take it easy.
Peace, man. Love you too. Catch ya
Later.
later.
Thanks, everyone.